Okay, so I think it's safe to start. Hi, my name is Fuku Nakamura. I work for the Campus Housing IT department, and today we're going to be going over Outlook 2016. So it's just going to be a few of the basic things that I feel like everybody should know in Outlook. So I guess to get started, I should share my screen. So we'll do that. Okay, so this is what Outlook 2016 looks like. You have some pretty basic UI things here. So right on the left-hand side, those are all your folders. Right in the middle, you have the your emails, and they are sorted by date by default. And then on the right, you get a preview of whatever email you have selected in this window. So I guess to start off, we should go over creating a new email. So in order to do that, you can just go ahead in the top left corner and click New Email. You can get to this window a little faster just by using the keyboard shortcut Control-N, and it should bring you the same thing. Now here we have the the message creation window. So in order to start, I guess we should enter some people here. So let's see. If you know the email address of the person you are sending it to and you've sent an email to them previously, Outlook will automatically fill that in. So if we went ahead and typed in, let's see, right here, Matthew Deblack, I've already emailed him several times before, so it automatically suggests his email address and it fills it in automatically. Now let's say I didn't know the email address of a certain individual, but they are part of the university. What Outlook allows you to do is actually access the university's address book to go ahead and search anyone that is affiliated with the university or that has a university email. So in order to do so, we can go ahead and type, let's say, a name into here. And then we go ahead and click the check names icon right at the top here. Now what this is going to do is it's going to do a search of the university address book and list off all the names that match the name I typed into the field right there. And so what we have here is exactly that. Now, I guess it doesn't matter which one I select, so we'll just go ahead and select one. So you could either just click on one and hit OK, or just double click, and it'll automatically add them to the to field. You can also access the address book directly just by hitting the address book button and doing the search in here. It works just the same way, and it'll automatically search for the best matches. And then again, you could just go ahead and double click them, and they will add them to this right here. Hit OK, and it's reflected here. You could do a similar thing in the CC fields. CC stands for carbon copy, so anybody who is put into here will also receive the email. Subject is pretty self-explanatory. Just type in the subject of the email. So let's say this is the webinar. And then in the body, you go ahead and type whatever you'd like. So we'll just say test. Okay. And now at the end here, I guess we should go over creating a UIC signature. So signatures are a neat little feature in Outlook that allows you to have a sign-off at the end of all your emails. And UIC actually provides a template for a UIC signature. So for mine, it looks something like this, where it just has your name. This is not the edited one. Well, okay. So it'll just have your name and then things like that, as well as a little UIC logo at the bottom. So we'll just go over real quick how to do that. So I'll go ahead and delete this. So the template can be found on the UIC, by UIC Marketing, actually. It was created by them. So in order to find that, we go ahead and open another window here. Should be loading up. There we go. And in here, we'll just type in UIC signature. Go ahead and search, and it should be the first link right here by the UIC Office of Marketing. Let that load, and if we scroll down, right in the second paragraph here, it says it gives you a link, so we'll click that. and it'll link you to this page. So this page is the template for the UIC signature. So we're just going to highlight it all and go ahead and copy that. And in order to make a new signature in Outlook, switch over to Outlook real quick here. We are still in the message creating window. And right at the top here, we go ahead and click signature. And click signatures. And then we'll be brought to this new window. So we're going to go ahead and create a new one right here. And we'll call this one, let's just say webinar. You could call it whatever you'd like. And then we're going to go ahead and just paste whatever we just copied from that other window into here. And now from here we could just edit it to say whatever we'd like. So for my case, it would just be, just be that, and then title would be whatever it is. And you can choose to include or omit any of these. I know most people don't use the UIC picture, so we can go ahead and delete that. Okay. So once we have it all sorted out and it looks good, we can just hit OK, and it'll add it as an option as one of our signatures. So we just created the webinar one, so we click that, and it automatically adds it to the bottom of the message. So if we wanted to send that, we would go ahead and click send, but I think we'll just pass for now. So we'll just close this. Okay. So moving on from that, those were emails. Next, I'd like to go over how to create out-of-office emails. So out-of-office is automatic emails. So say you're on vacation or you're going to be gone for the day and you won't have access to your emails. Out-of-office is a neat feature that Outlook allows you to do that will automatically send a reply email to any incoming emails with a pre-made message. It's kind of like a voicemail for phones, but instead it's email. So in order to do that, we go ahead and go to File. And let's see, right at the top, right in this window, it should say Automatic Replies Out of Office. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And it'll bring us to this window. Now by default, it says do not send automatic replies. That means you'll get all the emails that come in and there is no automatic replies being sent out. So let's say we want to send them, so we'll click that. And then right here, say this is a neat feature that allows you to do as well, where you can select the time frame for the automatic replies to be sent. So say you know how long you're going to be out for, you can go ahead and set those times if you'd like. But I don't think we'll be using that, so we'll just uncheck that. And let's see. So I've already done this webinar once, so it remembers the message I typed out earlier. So there's actually two messages that are going to be sent out. People that are inside my organization, that means university affiliate, people with university emails, essentially. And then outside of my organization is everybody else. So what I've done here is I've created a message for both of them, and they both say the same thing. Let's see. And you can even choose not to have automatic replies being sent out to people outside of the organization, which is fine. Which is fine for our purposes. So you can type in a message, anything you'd like, say test. And you can format it just like any message. Hit OK. And I'm going to say yes. And now this turns yellow. Now if we were to go back to Outlook, you'll notice that at the top of the screen, there's an option to turn off automatic replies. So this lets you know that you are sending out automatic replies. And in case you needed to turn it off for whatever reason, let's say you came back in and you forgot that it was on, Outlook provides a neat little notification to let you know that it is on. So we'll just turn that off for now. And now it's off. Okay, so that was out of office, automatic replies. Next thing I'd like to go over is rules and filters. So before we get into rules and filters, I guess we should just cover folders real quickly. So Outlook allows folders to be made, just like any other email application. When you open a folder, you can have your emails. So let's go over just creating an email. So, creating a folder. So in order to create a folder, you want to be in the left-hand pane and right-click anywhere and create new folder. So what this will do is it'll just create a folder underneath whatever folder you've already clicked on. So we'll just call this the webinar folder. Now, if that's the case, you'll notice here it's under the drafts folder. We can actually just drag this out and it'll become its own folder, which is exactly what we wanted. So there we go. We have a folder called webinar, and we can choose to rename it anytime. It's not a problem. So what rules and filters allow you to do is it allows you to scan incoming emails, and if it matches a certain set of criteria, it can move it to a separate folder or do any number of things with the email that you would normally be able to do manually. So let's say, for example, we have, in my case, I get a lot of work orders about cable issues or internet issues, and I have them all going to a separate folder called work orders. And in this folder, I have a rule set so that whenever we receive a work order, it'll automatically be sorted into this folder. And so it's very useful at decluttering your inbox if you get a lot of emails. So let's go ahead and create a new rule here. So right at C. So in order to get to the rules and filters, we go ahead and go to File. And right at the bottom here, we have Rules and Alerts. So we're going to go ahead and click that. Now what this will do is it will bring up a new window. And in here, we can go ahead and create a new rule. So you can see I already have several ones here, one labeled work order as I covered before. So we're going to go ahead and click New Rule. And here, Outlook provides a few suggestions based on what you might like to do. So let's just say we want to move messages from someone to a folder. That sounds fine. Go ahead and hit Next. And now in here, this sets the conditions. So what do you want to check for it to be sorted, essentially? So let's see, we said we wanted it to be sorted if it came from a specific person. So we'll go ahead and set that. Hit Next. Oh, sorry. So before we go ahead and hit Next, we actually have to set which person that would be. So in order to do that, we can go ahead and select this right here. And it'll pull up an address book. Let's say we want the emails from Miller. This one. So let's say we wanted emails from Matt Miller to be sorted into a specified folder. So we'll go ahead and click the specified in specified folder and allow us to select a folder. And you'll see we have our webinar folder here, so we'll click that. Oops. And so this is our rule. Now, the thing with rules is if they aren't robust enough, you might accidentally have certain emails be filtered unintentionally. So this is something we might have to cover in a later webinar, but for now we'll just keep it simple, where any email from Matt Miller will be forwarded to the webinar folder. Now you can add even more checks, even more attributes, as you can see in the next here. But for the sake of this webinar, we'll just keep it simple and hit Next. Yeah. Okay, and then we can go ahead and name the rule. So we'll just say webinar rule. Okay, now right here, Outlook allows you the option to run the rule on all the messages that are already in the inbox. So what it'll do already in the inbox, so what it will do is it'll run through all the emails in your Outlook already, and it'll just automatically put it into the folder as if it had just received it. All right, and then this is also an option to turn on the rule. We'll just leave it off for now, and we can go ahead and hit finish. Okay, so now it'll show up in our rules, list of rules. So if you wanted to delete a rule, you simply just select it in the window and click delete. And it's gone. And let's just hit OK with that. Okay, so those are rules and filters. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to cover is email groups. So groups are very useful when you have a set number of recipients that you always send emails to, but you just don't have the time to type out all their names every time. This is useful for cases like mine where I have a team of around 6-7 people that I regularly send emails to. And it allows me to send emails to all of them without having to type out all their emails at once. So in order to do so, we go ahead and click the, at the bottom here, the People's tab. So there's email, there's calendar, which we'll go over a little later, and people. So we'll go ahead and click that. Now right here, you'll already see I have a group set, as I mentioned, the CHIT group, and it includes these people here. So let's go ahead and create a new contact group. I believe it's the correct term. Yep. So in here, we can go ahead and start adding members. We can either choose from contacts in the address book or just the straight email. I think we'll just do it from the address book to make it a little simple. So this is the same window we've seen earlier. And we can go ahead and type, let's see. Let's go ahead and click a few of these. You'll notice some of the names have UIUC next to them, and that just means they are part of the Urbana-Champaign campus. And so sorts it out just like that. So now once we have a number of emails here, we can hit OK, and it'll automatically populate this field. And once we have that done, we save and close. Has no name. Oh, yes. We have to name the contact group. Here we go. So let's see. Let's call this the webinar group, even though I have... There we go. And there we go. It'll show up here as a contact group. Now you'll notice I've already made one for a previous webinar. So in order to delete one, you can go ahead and right-click it and delete. And it'll just be gone. So now in order to use a contact group, you can go ahead and switch back to the email tab right at the bottom here and click New Email. And what you can do is instead of typing out emails, you just simply type webinar. Oops, is it not showing up? Webinar. Well, let me try the other contact group that I've made, CHIT. There we go. So it'll automatically know that you're typing out the group that you've already set. And then if you wanted to make sure that all the people in that group are the people you think they are, you can just hit this plus right here and hit OK. And what it'll do is it'll show all the names that are part of that group. And so it's a pretty simple way to send emails out to a group of people. So it's kind of like your own little listserv almost, but not quite. And so that's email groups. Okay, so now moving on, I'd like to go over the calendar features in Outlook, because Outlook isn't just emails, it also involves calendars. So here I have my calendar. Right now it's empty, but we can go ahead and start populating this calendar by making appointments. So if we were to click New Appointment right at the top here, it'll open a new window which will let us create an appointment. So let's call this webinar. Location here, and you can go ahead and type a description if you'd like. And then you can set the start and end time as well. So let's say it's from Monday from 9 to 9:30. If it was happening all day, we just check all day event, and what it'll do is it'll set this to be an all day event, and it's not too complicated. So once we have our appointment set, we can also modify it to say to display it as something else. So if you're going to just be busy that time, you can simply select busy. There are the other options, but we'll just select busy for now. And then if you'd like, you can also set it to remind you of the event. Now, for our case, we'll just say we don't need a reminder. All right, and then once we have that, we can save and close. And what that'll do is automatically create that event. We've created it next week, Monday, and there it is. So I'll show you the subject and the description. Sorry, the location. In order for you to see more details, you could just double click it and you can edit it accordingly. So I just extended the length by changing the time, but you can also do that just by dragging the bottom edge of the event. And if you did want to move the event to another time, you can double click it and change the time there, or sorry, date, or you could just simply drag and drop. It's very, very intuitive. If you wanted to delete an appointment, you could just right click it and click delete. Meetings work in the same way, just that in addition to subject and location in the description, it also includes a to field. So if you wanted to invite someone to a meeting, let's say we wanted to invite CHIT, you can go ahead and type that out. And what this will do, it'll send an invitation to all these people in the to field. They'll get a notification, and as well as what the subject is, the location, start, end time, and the description. And they'll also be given an option to add it to their own calendars. So we'll just not save that. Okay. And then so let's see. Next thing I'd like to cover is sharing a calendar. Outlook makes it quite easy to share calendars with other people. So right at the top here, you have the share calendar option. And it'll send a sharing invitation to any recipient you type in here. So let's see. Go ahead and type that out. Subject is automatically generated. If you wanted to change that, you could, but I think we'll just leave it. And then details. So details are essentially how much the person who's receiving the invitation can see. So availability will just show the time slots that the appointments are happening, but it won't show any of the. It won't show the subject, and it won't show the details or the location. It'll just say busy. Limited details will show you the subject, I believe, as well as the time, as in, yeah. So it should show, I believe, just the subject and possibly the location. Full details will show everything, so it'll show subject, location, as well as the description. So let's say we just wanted to show the availability. And if we were to hit send, I would send them a notification saying, hey, I would like to share my calendar with you. If they accept, it'll automatically add my calendar to their list of calendars. So we'll just cancel that for now. And if you ever wanted to alter calendar permissions for anybody you are sharing your calendar with, you can just simply click the calendar permissions and just review all the settings you have set with that. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to cover is department calendar. So Student Affairs does have a calendar that is just universally shared, and anybody can add it if they'd like. And that would fall under the Shared Calendars tab right here on the left-hand side. Now, in order to add the departmental calendar, we can go ahead and go to Open Calendar right at the top here. And then we're going to go ahead and click Open Shared Calendar. Now, for the name, we will be going for the Student Affairs calendar, so that name is Student Affairs CAL at UIC.edu. Say hit OK, and that will automatically add the Student Affairs calendar on the left-hand side here. That will allow you to view any events that Student Affairs has scheduled. And this will automatically update as events are created by Student Affairs. And if you didn't want to view this calendar, you could just simply uncheck it here. And it'll automatically default to your personal calendar. So if you wanted to delete any calendar for any reason, go ahead and right-click and say Delete Calendar. This can't be done for any default calendars, so your personal calendar cannot be deleted, but for most other cases, they can be.